Today, I want to talk about something that I think every angler has probably asked themselves at one point in time, and that is, does scent actually matter when it comes to bass fishing? Does having a certain particular type of scent help you to go out there and catch more bass? I know for myself, when I was growing up, I always thought that scent didn't necessarily help me to catch more bass, but it did help me to have bass hold on to a bait longer, which in turn, I would get a hook in more of those fish and catch more of those fish, so it would kind of help me to catch more. But the more and more research that I do on this subject, the more and more years of me just out here fishing, I have kind of changed my mind when it comes to scent. And real quick, before we kind of get into scent, guys, I do want to let you know this video is brought to you by Fin Fishing. I'm running a sale right now at Fin Fishing. Buy one sun shirt, you get the second for 50% off. You get 2 shirts for about 80 bucks. You just have to add 2 to your cart. All right, let's get on to scents. And okay, so the first thing that you should know when it comes to scent is how well a bass can actually smell in the water. And if you guys are wondering where I am right now, I'm actually down in Houston at an event that Berkeley Labs is putting on. I was lucky enough to get an invite, and it's fascinating. The cool thing about this event is I've been able to ask the scientists and the chemists and the fisheries biologists that work at Berkeley all about bass and things that you don't always necessarily know, things that they have studied, things that they don't even have, like they're not even putting out there. And so it's been really, really fascinating. So going back to that, one of the things that they have kind of let me know and things that correlate with studies that I've read is a bass can smell so much better underwater than we can as humans above water. And as a matter of fact, I learned today that they can actually smell 1,000 times better than a human, which is crazy. As a matter of fact, if you put 1 drop of amino acids into a swimming pool size of water with a bass in it, it can detect that small drop of amino acids. So a bass can smell very, very well. But that doesn't necessarily answer the question about scent and if it helps you to catch more bass. And so something that I find that is really fascinating is that you can go out fishing on certain days on your favorite bodies of water, and it doesn't matter what scent you have on that bait, you're going to catch a lot of fish, right? This is just something that happens. If you're fishing around a lot of aggressive bass, it may not necessarily matter if you get sunscreen on that bait, because that bass doesn't care. It's aggressive. It's feeding with its eyesight. It's feeding with its lateral line, and it's going to bite that bait based upon what it sees and what it feels. But what I've learned over the years and what I am just seeing more and more of is that when you fish these really highly pressured bodies of water, another positive cue that a bass is going to use on when it's deciding whether to hit a bait is scent. It really, really is that powerful. And basically, if a bait smells the right way, or if there was a positive cue when a bait comes into a bass's territory, then that bass is a lot more likely to hit that bait. And so to me, scent does matter. And there's a good scent and there's a bad scent. As a matter of fact, something that is crazy here is I heard the researchers talk about this. They basically did this study where they had trout that were downstream of humans, and basically all the humans were just sticking their hand in the water, and the trout could pick up on that scent, whatever's coming off a human. It's this amino acid called elcery, and those trout would actually scatter literally just based upon someone putting their hand in the water. And so, like I said, there are times when bass are going to scatter based upon a scent that might be on your bait. Now, again, doesn't happen all the time, but that is the big thing that I found, is that having a good scent on your bait doesn't necessarily ever hurt you when it's fishing. But I do definitely think there are times when it helps you a lot to go out there and catch bass. Now, when it comes to scent, another really, really important thing that you should know is that oil-based scents that are out there on the market are pretty much worthless, right? Oil-based attractants are pretty much worthless. And most of you know that oil and water don't mix. So because oil and water don't mix, long story short, a bass can't even really smell something that is oil-based. Now, what an oil-based attractant does do is it blocks bad scents. So if you were to take that bait, rub it all over your body, and then spray some sort of oil-based scent on that bait, it's going to block some of those bad scents from getting off. So in a way, it helps, but, well, it helps against bad things, but I wouldn't necessarily call it an attractant as much as just a blocker, if that makes sense. So anyways, I'm saying scent here a lot. There are good scents. And as a matter of fact, one of my favorites is, you know, bait fuel. It's a really good one. I'll leave a link down below if you guys want to check it out. This is something that's amino acid based, which is something that a bass can smell and pick up on very well. Another thing that I really like are the Berkley products, especially the ones that have max scent or even power bait or gulp. I'm from the northern part of the country, and well, northern, I'm from Ohio, you know, kind of north. But anyways, I fish a lot of Great Lakes. Having gulp or max scent on your baits, especially for smallmouth, has been crazy. Like the amount of fish you will catch with having that scent on your bait, it's untouched. Like, you have to have it if you come up here. And it's not just for smallmouth. I think there are times where smallmouth, because they're in a lot of current situations, maybe pick up on that scent better. But even for largemouth, I've seen several times where flipping a bait that is scented like a max scent creature hog gets more bites than baits that either don't have a scent or maybe have a different scent. And so I've said scent like 400 times in this video. The long story short of this all is that I do believe that scent matters. And I believe that sometimes you go out there and it doesn't matter, but I believe that when it does, if you have the right scents on your bait, it will help you to catch more bass. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Leave them down below in the comments, and I will see you tomorrow.